We are back from our summer break, and I will personally guarantee that tonight's episode will be fantastic. Hit it! Welcome back to the podcast, nerds. I am Larry Brantley, and I'm here with Brent Williams.
Hola.
That was so inspirational.
Look.
And our producer, Chris Hockenberry.
Greetings.
Also, just over the top inspirational.
Look,
so good.
It has been, there's a reason we took a hiatus.
Hang on. You just told me before we started this that I need to get a couple of plugs in. So will you stop talking?
Okay, I'm sorry.
We are coming to you tonight, as always, from Industrial Cigar Company in Frisco, Texas. Thank you guys. Thank you, the Frakes family, for opening your doors to us. We love you guys so much. We love being here, especially because it's balls hot outside and we are in the air conditioning. Hey, it's been a while since I said this, but I'm going to say it again. Please go out to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@nerdherfers and subscribe. You can also get us anywhere if you're you want to listen to us in the car or while you're doing the laundry. You can go out to any platform that supports podcasts and get us. Also, and he didn't say this to me before we started recording, go to nerdherfers.com and subscribe because that's going to let you know when we got a new podcast dropping. We've got a merch store. We've got a cigar shop. We have so much fun stuff out there. It is so good to be back, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Oh, it's been a while.
It has been a
We've
while.
been on a bit of a summer break because so much stuff has been going on for all of us.
Yep.
And some of it is better left unsaid. I am not going to dump my purse out on the internet for people. So let's just say we are happy to be back. And as all of you know, the first thing we like to do right out of the bat is something that we like to call Nerd News. It's all the nerd news you didn't even know you needed to know. And finally, we are going back to the anchor booth and our anchor person, Brent Williams. Brent, give us some nerd news.
Well, first of all, I'm surprised I still remember which buttons do what.
I am actually surprised too,
It
and
feels
I'm
like it's
happily
been
surprised.
so long I don't remember how this
because
works.
honestly, if you had hit the wrong one, if you had hit one that made like a fart noise or whatever, we were going to leave it in. We were going to do
That'd be great.
This will be the blooper episode.
That should be our new nerd news thing.
Yeah.
All right. First story. This is called.
It's not our first episode,
it's not our
dude.
first episode. It isn't a while. First story. This one I call almost.
Okay.
Almost.
Almost.
All right. There's a Dutch design company. Dutch, not Dunch.
Dunch?
Where they
That's
came
a
from.
different. They're not the Dutch. They're adjacent to the Dutch, but they're called
Dutch
the
adjacent,
Dunch.
yeah. Anyway, there's a Dutch design company called Modem, and they released a project named Dream Recorder.
Okay.
And the way they advertise this, AI interprets your dreams and visualizes your dreams for you.
And
right?
like they create images? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's... I'm not okay with that.
I'm sorry. I forgot to mention something. You have to describe your dreams to it for it to do that.
Yeah, no.
No.
I do that with my therapist, but not with AI.
I mean, they make it sound like you've got like an electrode hooked up to your head, and it like you can wake up the next morning and see your dreams, right?
I don't know how I feel about that.
But no, you actually have to sit there and describe your dreams to. I mean, come on, there's tons of. You can go to any AI site that generates video or images and do the same thing. Just type it in, right?
Well, I mean,
this is I'm trying to say, this is
not
like
a big deal.
This is like a solve for a problem that doesn't exist.
Because you could, exactly. Because you could just make something up, right? Yeah. Like I didn't really have this dream, but last night, AI, I dreamed that I was the queen of the mall and I had to guard against the princess frog with my giant laser muffin. Like, okay, so that's a problem that didn't need to exist. Give me something else.
Okay, all right. There's a movie we both love. It's what Micah used to call Carnage Candy.
Oh, good.
And there's a new one coming out this Friday. Today's August 13th.
Yes.
Coming out Friday, August 15th. Okay. It's called Nobody 2.
Oh, Bob Odenkirk. Yes, let's go.
And so what I didn't know is the first movie was based off a real life situation that he encountered. He trapped some burglars in his basement, and he thought to himself, what would I have done if I were a badass?
Right.
And that's where the idea for the first
That's
movie came
so
from.
interesting. I just watched an interview with him today about the making of Nobody, which was he had to do all of this like stunt stuff and fight choreography, which he'd never done before, right? And he's an older guy.
Yeah.
And the guy who is in charge of that actually played a baddie in the first John Wick film.
Okay.
He was the guy who almost killed John Wick, and then he was murdered by his sniper buddy. But anyway, apparently
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, thank you. Apparently, Bob Odenkirk loved this kind of training so much that he just kept doing it.
Yeah, I was going to say he got in some great shape.
He just kept doing it.
So he was sure that they were going to do a second one, and he
Right.
just kept training because he fell in love with the training.
Right.
But,
and so he was like, so the call came for Nobody 2, and they went to the stunt coordinator and said, how long do you think it'll take Bob to get ready for Nobody 2? And he was like, Bob's ready now.
Yeah.
Like, he never stops.
Yeah.
He's good.
All right. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2.
V'ger.
Very soon, we'll be passing through the Oort cloud. You know what the Oort cloud is?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is
So-
that like a fart thing?
No, on the outside of our galaxy, there's an Oort cloud, which is basically a bunch of debris, right? And that's where they think
Spell what you're saying.
OORT.
Oh, so not orc.
No, Oort cloud.
So there's not a bunch of goblins out in there in space getting ready
No,
to...
so there's an
Okay.
Oort cloud that surrounds our galaxy, and it's actually considered extragalactic. Like, it's not part of our galaxy; it surrounds our galaxy, right?
Where did it come from?
Who knows? Formation, things colliding.
Okay.
Who knows? But a lot of scientists believe that that's where comets and stuff come from.
Okay.
They get pulled in, and that's how they start. But anyway, so they're getting close, and they're going to pass through it. So the big worry is, will they get damaged going through the Oort cloud?
Sure.
Right. So I looked it up, and we don't really have to worry yet because it's going to be 300 years before they make it.
Before they
even get there.
Get there. What?
Both Voyagers are already extragalactic. They're outside of our solar system.
Right.
Or extrasolar, I should say. But so, they made it sound like, oh no, it's about to happen. We need to worry about it. Well, it's 300
It's
years.
300 years
But
from
here's
now.
how big the Oort cloud is. It will take them 30,000 years to traverse it.
Wow.
That's how big it is.
There was a big news article about the fact that Voyager 1 entered the space between
Yeah.
our galaxy and the Oort cloud,
Yeah.
and they can hear the galaxy literally go silent immediately. There's a point in time where it just all the noise, the background noise,
Just stops?
just stops.
Yeah.
That would be because what did we learn from the first Alien? In space, no one can hear you scream.
So what I thought was interesting, just to the scale of the universe, right? People don't get how big it is, or the distance.
It's hard for our small
It's hard
minds
for us.
to
It's hard for us to
comprehend.
comprehend. So they measure things in what's called an astronomical unit, which is the distance from the Earth to the Sun, which is roughly 93 million miles.
Okay,
right?
which is still hard for me.
So Voyager 1 is I believe the number is 116. That could be wrong. Hold on, let me double check.
Fact checking.
Yeah, I actually had it. 167.33 AU from the Earth at this point, which is 15.5 billion miles. Wow. That's how far it's traveled. And of course, it was launched in the 70s, but still.
Right, but still.
Yeah.
And do you happen to know, and I'm not going to ask you to look this up, but do you happen to know off the top of your head, like, at what velocity these satellites
I
are
didn't look
traveling?
all that up, no.
I like that boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Because I was we were all little kids when those launched. And now here we are talking about the fact that man-made stuff is outside of our solar system and just cruising along to somewhere.
Yeah, and then I have one bonus story.
Okay.
This just proves the point that Alan Tudyk is every robot in every movie ever.
I've said this for years.
Okay. He just made it known that he played the voice of Sonny in iRobot.
No.
And he also did the mocap for it.
I don't think he was credited in that film.
He was not, because when the audience tested it, he tested better than Will Smith. And immediately they removed his name from everything.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
So if you're ever playing a hand of poker,
Yeah.
and you get the Will Smith card and you get the Alan Tudyk card, get rid of the Will Smith card. That's all I'm saying. You're going to win with Alan Tudyk every time. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of Nerd News. Those are some really interesting stories. And what I love about that is not one of them was sad.
Right.
Thank you so much for that. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have been on a bit of a summer break because, Brent's working a dozen jobs and Hawk's working half a dozen jobs and I'm working 2. But it's just been a lot going on. And so we're really happy to be back with you guys. And so tonight's topic is going to be a fun one. But before we get to that, we've got a couple things we need to get out of the way. The first thing we're going to get out of the way is we're going to talk about the bottle that we are going to review tonight. And it's this lovely bottle right here. Now, as you know, we typically do whiskey on the show, but tonight we're going to do this awesome tequila. It's called Addictivo, and Brent's going to talk about it. What can you tell me about that? First of all, that bottle is just cool.
Yep. This actually won a design award. I think it won a silver in a San Francisco.
So it's a tequila bottle that apparently looks like it has been twisted by some mage or sorcerer.
Well, what's also
or
cool
wizard.
is there's extra tequila in the.
So I've
stopper.
noticed more and more tequila bottles are doing that now. So you pour the last of the tequila out and you think, oh, I'm out of tequila. Nope, you got a shot left.
You got bonus tequila.
Bonus tequila.
Yeah. So this is aged 2 years. It's 100% blue agave. It's aged 2 years in French oak.
Now this is an añejo, yes?
Añejo.
So 3 types of tequila, right?
Yeah.
Blanco, reposado, añejo. Añejo is aged the longest.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
I believe it has to be 2 years or 3 years to be considered añejo.
Maybe it's 6 plus.
6 years?
Yeah. 3 plus is reposado.
Well, this says it's only aged 2 years.
That can't possibly be right.
This tequila is aged for 2 years in French oak casks and bottled at 80% proof, which is true.
That's interesting because that is not how I learned the difference between the reposado and the añejo. Well, anyway, keep going.
Okay. Anyway, so tasting notes. Long finish, honey, caramel, vanilla, sweet spice.
Yeah, that's what you would typically get with an añejo tequila. So let's crack it open. Now, this is not a corked bottle. So I don't know if it's going to make the special sound, but let's see what happens here.
Do I unscrew it?
Well, no, it's a pop, but it's very difficult because I've had this bottle before.
Oh.
I took the plastic off.
Did you?
Yes, I did. I took it off. Here, this could go so wrong.
There it goes. It's coming out.
Oh, that made a lovely sound.
That was difficult to get out.
Yeah, no, it is. And it's also difficult to get back in, so you might just want to lay that down. Because it is, again, I've had this bottle of tequila before. It is notoriously difficult. The first time I had a bottle of Addictivo, I was at my bar at my house, and I was pulling it like so, and a third of the bottle ended up on my shirt. Thank you so much. Which I then proceeded to sop on for the rest of the evening, because that's how proud I am. Let's get some for our producer there. Here you go, Mr. Hockenberry, if you want to lean in. I'm sorry my arms aren't longer. I wish I had a baboon in my pocket. Okay. So you said vanilla, oak, sweet spice. Let's see what we got here. Caramel. Well, I mean, you can definitely taste
dried fruits.
You can definitely smell the agave on the nose. Very tasty. It actually made my mouth water. It made my mouth water.
That is good. That nose is so great.
Ooh, it's so smooth. It's so smooth. There's no bite on that at all. Now, granted, it's only, 80 proof?
Yeah, but still.
But it's so smooth.
Ooh, yeah, it's like baking spice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to jump in here.
Yep.
So for Añejo Tequila, to be called Añejo, it must be aged for a minimum of 1 year in oak barrels. The oak barrels must have a maximum capacity of 600 liters.
Okay.
Which is
to be
30
extra
gallons?
Añejo, it must be aged a minimum of 3 years.
That's interesting. That is not how I learned. So I was misinformed, but thank you guys for looking that up. Now, here's the thing about me and tequila. I didn't start drinking till I was in my late 20s, almost 30. So I had already gotten to the point in my life where I'm only going to drink what I enjoy. I'm not going to drink for effect. And one of the things I like to do with a good tequila is I like to put just a little bit of lime in it, just a little bit. Because I think it cuts the sweetness. Sometimes tequilas, especially if they've been aged a while, can be a little too sweet for me. So I like to cut it just a little bit. In the same way that if you took a single malt scotch and you took a pipette and you put a few drops of water in it. So I'm going to do that because our producer was kind enough to get us some lime wedges.
Do you want lime, Chris?
I'm just going to put just a little bit of lime in there, just a couple of drops, just like that. Nothing fancy, not going crazy. And I'm going to see what that does. And what I think it's going to do is balance it out. And it absolutely does for me. That's just my palate. So, we always say you drink it how you drink it, right? Everything that we do on this show in terms of bottles and sticks is subjective. Enjoy it the way you enjoy it. I like it with a little bit of lime. What does that do for you?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Now I feel like I'm on the beach in Mexico.
Yeah.
Except there's too many clothes on.
Well, and thank God for that, because
Same.
it's not that kind of, we're not an OnlyFans page. We're a YouTube channel. So
No, maybe we wear Speedos next time.
no banana hammocks. I'm just going to
Chris
say
is
that
already
right now.
You realize
Stop
you
taking
are
your
on
shirt
camera
off,
now.
Chris.
You are on
You
you are on
know
camera.
you're on camera, right? Yeah, he forgot.
he was on camera.
He forgot. He totally forgot. He thought he was doing that for us, and he was doing it for all of the internet.
Yeah, that's staying too. That's
Yeah,
on there.
we're not cutting that
That's
out.
on there.
So we've got this lovely bottle of Addictivo Añejo Tequila.
That is
now.
really good. Also,
Also-
the price point on this is great. It's less than $70
Yes,
for the bottle.
it's very very
Super affordable.
reasonable.
I mean, it's great
very
tequila.
reasonable, and you get a cool looking bottle
Yeah.
and a really good drop of tequila. All right, so the stick that we're doing tonight, as we're back from our summer break, Hawk gets full credit for this as our producer because he discovered this stick while Brent and I were doing other things. Tonight's cigar is going to come from a company called Hooten Young, and I'm going to show you that this is the box that Hooten Young Cigars comes in. Now, if you know anything about this, this is in the shape of an ammo box, and I'm going to tell you why. Because so tonight's cigar is called Hooten Young Ma Deuce, and Hooten Young was founded by a guy named Norm Hooten, a.k.a. Hoot, who was a U.S. Army Master Sergeant, and he was a Delta Force operator. His personality was actually portrayed in the movie Black Hawk Down.
Oh, wow.
And in the movie Black Hawk Down, which was directed by Ridley Scott, Hoot's character was played by an Australian actor named Eric Bana.
Oh, yeah.
And
The Hulk.
and the name Ma Deuce is named after the M2 machine gun, which was designed toward the end of World War I, which was called Ma Deuce. The weapon used a .50 caliber BMG cartridge, which is what the cigar is shaped like. Watch this. All right, I'm going to get this out right quick. And I've got 3 here. I've got one for you. And, no, don't do the pew pew thing. Here you go, buddy.
Hey, so I have a question.
Yes.
Is it pronounced, because I don't know, so I'm asking for clarification. Is it pronounced Ma Deuce or Ma Deuce?
Ma Deuce.
Ma Deuce? Okay.
I mean, depends on who you ask, but I've always heard it pronounced Ma Deuce.
Okay.
So real quick, I'm going to take this out of the cello, and you will see that it is in fact shaped like a .50 caliber ammunition round. Now this is going to be, let me give you the breakdown on this. This is going to be, the wrapper is going to be a dual wrapper. So you can see how it's dark at both ends and light in the middle. So this is going to be a dual Ecuadorian Connecticut, which is going to be that middle part there. And then San Andreas Maduro on the crown and the foot.
Wow.
The binder and filler are both from Nicaragua. The body is considered medium. The flavor profile is going to be white pepper, spice, herbal, and it's supposed to give just like a really good volume of smoke.
So I don't know if this picks up on camera, but so this isn't tapered on the end. It actually is indented like the top of a bullet.
Like the top of a bullet, yeah.
And then goes down
so,
like that.
I would love to actually talk to Norm Hooten and ask him, how did you find a factory that could do that
Well, they
for
probably
you?
just, I mean,
I'm sure they made the mold.
well, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, they're just wooden molds. They can carve them. whatever
Yeah,
shape
they
want
made
them
the
in, right?
mold, but it's a really cool looking
Yeah.
shape of a cigar, and I can't wait to find out how it smokes. So let's get with that right now. So I'm gonna do. Oh, stop it. I'm gonna do a Cuban cut.
We started a thing. Hey, I brought my stuff. I just forgot to get them out and get them ready this time.
That's okay. Everyone loves to see you digging around in your pockets.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So the cold draw for me is all of that Mexican San Andreas right there. Mm-hmm. So I suspect that once we burn through the initial, what is that, call it the fifth of the cigar that's got that Maduro foot on it, with that Connecticut wrapper, it's going to change a little bit. So
I mean,
I'm gonna
that's a
go
good
ahead
draw,
and-
though.
It is a good draw. Let's go ahead and fire it up.
I am getting bits, but other than that.
That is the sound of my lighter working.
Yeah. toasting.
Oh my goodness. First of all, this is not going to read on camera, but that thing toasted off perfectly. It's a perfectly round red spot in the middle of my cigar.
Hey, I'm going to give you a hint. The ends of these lighters are really hot after you use them, so don't touch it.
Oh, did you just?
I'm gonna have a nice circle.
You're gonna have a nice little blood blister, aren't you? Nice.
I didn't even know I was touching it.
So I'm definitely getting the white pepper. I'm getting a little bit of herbaceousness.
Ooh, yeah.
It's a very balanced cigar. I can tell you that right now. Now, keep in mind, I just lit this thing, so the middle could be dog turd.
Well,
but I don't think
what's
it's
the
gonna
filler
be.
on it?
Undisclosed Nicaraguan.
Okay, because I mean, just the wrappers are. I mean, it's
Yeah, so they do use long filler, like any good premium cigar. They use long filler as opposed to short filler. But man, that is a good draw.
Yeah, this is a 6.5 by 60 too, so it's got that nice fat ring gauge.
Even though the end is so very tapered.
Yeah.
That you really... Now, one thing I will say about a cigar like this, if you guys are smoking something like a Torpedo, Vitola, or something that tapers way off and starts like this big, do not draw fast and do not draw hard, because if you do, you will start to tar. And if you tar, that just means that you're pulling so hard so fast that you're going to get little beads of nicotine tar, and it's going to sour the expression of the cigar for you. Now, if that ever happens, all you have to do is just snip the end off, and you can keep going. But just take your time with it. I promise you, it's all going to be good.
I'm getting like I want to say like oak. Like some type
I'm getting a little woody there.
Yeah, some types of wood.
A little woody, not cedar.
Yeah, not cedar. It's
Because
like
that's very specific, but it is kind of oaky, a little woody. Yeah, I like it. Well, we are off and running. We've got our Addictivo Añejo Tequila, and we've got this Hooten Young Ma Deuce cigar. Now it's time to talk about what we're going to talk about this evening. Okay. Have you guys ever heard of Marvel Comics? Maybe you have. Marvel, a few years ago, decided to start doing movies, and most of them were great. Some of them, not so much. They hit a bad patch. However, they just released their newest movie, directed by Matt Shakman, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Williams, Joe. Why am I blanking on his name?
Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yes, but he's got an actual name, and
Eben
let's use
Bacharach.
it. Eben Moss, and it's Bacharach. It's not Bacharach.
Sorry, I was
it's
going
Bacharach. Sorry, and Julia Garner and Ralph Ineson, Vanessa Kirby. Sorry, not Vanessa Williams. Joe Quinn.
Thank you.
Called the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight.
And since we're always so timely, we're going to talk about like 6 weeks after it came out.
Well, it doesn't matter. Look, we've been on a break, dude. We've been on a break.
2 weeks.
There was no
2
way.
3 weeks.
There's no way we were not going to talk about this movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, I thought that Marvel was back with Thunderbolts. I thought Thunderbolts was a solid movie about a group of anti-heroes, and that was a great thing. And then they just upped the ante with this. So, Fantastic Four First Steps is what it's called. If you're any kind of a nerd, you've already seen this film. You know how awesome it is. But just for those of you who maybe haven't yet or who want to know a little more about it, this is a film that is directed by Matt Shakman. Matt Shakman has directed episodes of WandaVision, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Fargo, and Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So he's got the right background for that mixture of humor and comic book nerdiness and violence that I think we all want to see in our superhero movies. We already talked about the cast. So the Fantastic Four First Steps is a very big departure from most Marvel movies in that it is set on Earth 828 in the year 1964. So the multiverse has already been introduced. That's nothing new in the Marvel Universe. This, however, is set in 1964, which, by the way, Jack Kirby, who created the Fantastic Four, his birthday is 8/28.
I was going to say, I thought that's why they named the Earth 8/28.
That is why they call it 8/28. Yeah. And thankfully, Marvel made a smart choice in that this is not another origin story.
Right.
They decided that they were going to pick the action up 4 years into the birth of the Fantastic Four. So Earth 828 already knows that 4 years ago, a group of astronauts went into space, got hit by some cosmic radiation, came back with superpowers, and became a superhero team. Also, on Earth 828, these are the only superheroes that exist on that particular Earth.
Oh, wow.
There are no other.
They got tons of villains.
They got a lot of villains, including
Mole Man.
We see Mole Man in the post-credit scene. That's the animation. We see a couple more of them.
Well, the opening sequence when it's showing them like doing things that they've done in the past.
Yeah.
They actually recreate the original Fantastic Four comic book cover.
Mm-hmm.
The subterranean monster that's coming out of the ground, kind of looks like the Kraken. Yeah, they actually set the camera angle, set them in the right places, doing everything from the first comic book.
It was so good, and I love that about Matt Shakman because he really wanted to pay homage to the first family of Marvel Comics.
Right.
And so, it's very the term that Matt Shakman used was retro-futuristic.
Yeah.
So in 1964 on Earth 828, it's the 60s. You can tell by the wardrobe that people are wearing.
The cars.
And but there are also flying cars.
But are we sure it's 1964? Because
yes.
Well, because we see Doctor Doom at the end.
Yeah, but we don't know that he came from that Earth 828.
I don't think he came from
Right.
Earth 828.
Well,
so did he travel back in time?
If you notice when they go to the UN or whatever, there's an empty chair for Latvia there.
Mm-hmm.
So they're hinting there is a Doctor Doom in this universe.
Yeah. So,
but I'm pretty sure I thought it was.
So no, Matt Shakman has said that straight out. Earth 828, 1964. So that is when.
How are we going to go forward 50 years?
Well, because wormholes, son. We've already established that. We can travel through time. We can travel through space. We can travel through space-time. That's already been established in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
I would argue that the jumping through time...
You just want to argue.
I do.
You just want to argue.
The jumping through time piece took a lot of pieces lined up. And now we're saying that they can just do it willy-nilly. I'm not saying...
We're not saying that.
But okay.
What we're saying is...
He said it was 1964.
At least Victor Von Doom could figure it out.
Yeah.
And probably Reed Richards could figure it out. So maybe Tony Stark wasn't the first one to figure out a Mobius strip inverted. Right? That's all I'm saying. We won't know until we know. We won't know until Doomsday gets here. But let's talk a little bit about why you guys love this film and why you think... Because I remember... Hockenberry saw it before you and I did. And I remember getting what was probably a drunk text from him that just said, Marvel is back. And I thought, and then I didn't say this, but I was like, Marvel's kind of back with Thunderbolts, but yes, I'm sure it's very good. So why did you guys love this film?
Well, so contrary to my typical, I like to see different versions of things. Like I don't want to go to the movies and see the book. But I will say, I think one of the reasons this was so good is because they stuck to the material, not word for word, but the intent of the material, right, of the original stuff. And I think they just really sold it. I mean, Pedro Pascal does a great job as Reed Richards. He plays Reed Richards the way you would think the way he is. If you've read the comics, you know how he is. Sue Storm. Okay. I do have a little bit of thing with Sue Storm, because when they went up and they were exposed to the cosmic rays, that basically their powers came from more or less their personalities, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's a reason she's invisible, is because she was,
in Reed Richards' shadow.
In Reed Richards' shadow, yeah. But in this movie, she's actually very powerful, very strong, which I actually like that. I thought that was a really great way to do that.
Well, in the comics, she was one of the strongest of the heroes. Her and Wanda were like superpower people.
Yeah, I'm not talking about her superpowers. I'm talking about her like personality.
But her
Personality.
personality.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She was very front.
She was kind of timid.
Well,
a little
she's
shy.
in
Of course, if we want to be fair, it's 1960s.
right.
So, you know.
But at the same time, she is sort of the example of the strong, independent woman because she's repping at the United Nations,
Right.
which is kind of cool. And then also, I can't help but wonder, and they did not intimate this in the movie, but, you know, my nerd brain goes, did she become slightly more powerful when Franklin was growing inside of her?
Yeah.
Because by the end of it, like, she's almost pushing Galactus into the teleportation
She
thing
does.
by herself.
Yeah.
She has a little help at the end,
Yeah.
as we know.
Yeah.
And we thought it was going to be from Johnny, but as it turns out, it was from the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
But that occurred to me. It was like, you know, she was already pretty strong, and she clearly look. Every film is going to take some liberties, and one of the things that Marvel definitely does in their movies is that they do a little bit of virtue signaling.
Yeah.
So the fact that they made her a strong, independent woman who could, you know, be comfortable speaking in front of the entire UN, that doesn't really surprise me, and it doesn't take anything away
It
from
doesn't.
me.
Actually, I really liked her character. I thought it was really, you know.
And that's Vanessa Kirby all over. I just think she's super talented.
Yeah.
And I thought Joe Quinn did a great job as Johnny Storm because he embodied the sort of playfulness. Whereas if you go back to one of the previous Fantastic Four movies that Fox did, and Fox just fumbled twice, basically.
Yeah.
They almost fumbled 3 times. Did you know that there was an unreleased Fantastic Four film that was directed by Roger Corman?
Yep.
Like, how many? Like, that would have been 3 strikes and you're out, right?
But they had to make that one to keep the IP.
Yeah.
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 But I'm like, okay, the guy who made Death Race 2000 is now going to make a Fantastic Four movie. I don't know. I loved, like, I've worked on B-movie sets for a long time, and we would all wear cast T-shirts that said WWCD, what would Corman do?
Yeah.
So we pay our homage to a guy like Roger Corman. He was the king of the B-movies. But to take something like the Fantastic Four, I don't know. I'm just glad it didn't happen. Anyway.
What I loved about it was the fact that it very much stuck stylistically to what I remember the comics being when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just the story points, but it felt like a 70s comic in the movie. Like kind of the same way that Superman felt like the comics from when I was a kid that weren't versus the dark ones.
Well, I think you bring up a good point, and I think that, so again, you know, talking about how we like to see things that aren't exactly the source material, but I think what's happened is there's been too many liberties taken. Like they've gone too far away from that. And so now there's kind of circling back around, and it's kind of a breath of fresh air. And we're kind of going, oh, yeah, okay.
Everything old is new again.
Yeah.
So I thought Shackman did a great job. You know, and so breaking down the characters, right? You said it. Pedro Pascal did a great job interpreting the character of Reed Richards. He is the smartest man in the world.
Yeah.
At least in that world.
Yeah.
But he's also got these insecurities that we see, particularly about the prospect of becoming a father. And he's overdoing everything. He's like, you know, we have to test you every day, Sue, to make sure that the baby's okay and this and that and the other. And she's just like, chill out, dude. We're having a kid. That's all it is. We're having a kid.
I like when she like goes invisible. Here, look.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going fine.
And then Joe Quinn is Johnny Storm. What I was going with that earlier is that, you know, Chris Evans was the first Johnny Storm, but he came off as more arrogant.
Yeah.
And like a player and whatever, which to me was not the embodiment of Johnny Storm as I remembered him from the comics. I remembered him as being more of a big kid.
Yeah, it's kind of a hothead.
Which is, definitely.
Yeah.
But also, like, the same guy, like, one of my favorite, and this was in the trailer, it was in the movie, it was, I found this interesting, like, the first trailer that came out was that scene where Reed and Sue are bringing a couple of guys in. We don't know if they're reporters or executives, but they talk about the fact they always have Sunday dinner all together all the time. And that did not make it into the movie.
Right.
But the part where Ben, the Thing, and Johnny are sitting down, and Sue and Reed walk in, and he goes, "You're late."
Yeah.
And she's looking at him like, "What?"
Yeah.
"For dinner. You're late for dinner."
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. "What do you mean? What do I mean? You're late for dinner." "Oh, yes, I am late for dinner." And then, of course, Ben Grimm, who is arguably the second smartest guy there, goes, "Are you pregnant?" And I thought Eben Boss Macrack did a great job as Ben Grimm because I think maybe a lot of people were expecting just a orange Rocky version of the Hulk, and that's not who Ben Grimm is at all.
Right.
At all. He's actually kind of a softie. Yeah. And he's good with kids.
The big bear.
And
he's on the bear.
And he's on the, yes, he is also on the bear. So I thought, like, I would have been really interested when they got this cast together, the kind of research that they would make them do to do that. And I presume it was, don't look at any of the movies that came before them,
right?
But go read the comic books. Yeah. And that's where you will find your inspiration, because that is certainly, from a visual standpoint, the inspiration that Matt Shackman used for the movie. Yeah,
I love everybody on the streets meeting them, and they're like, "Say it. What time is it? What time is it?"
Yeah.
He's like, "That's not a thing I say. That's just in the comic book.
That's just in
what
the comic
time
books.
is it? What time is it?"
I also love the little nod that they did, where as the movie progresses, the Thing actually grows a rock beard. Like the Thing, as it turns out, needs to shave.
With an angle grinder.
With an ankle grinder, yeah. With a Dremel.
Yeah, I loved how they had the entire world conserving power, which, first of all, that wouldn't happen. But it's like, it lasted like that, because Silver Surfer shows up and destroys all of them.
I loved the space scenes.
Yeah.
They were like, there was almost to me it felt like, and I went and did some looking up on it, it felt like it was hearkening back to Interstellar. Turns out that they engaged the same special effects studio that did that for Interstellar.
Yeah, those were great
It's supposed to look like that.
Yeah, I loved how their rocket ship is named the Excelsior.
Yeah.
Because of Stan. And actually, Stan and Jack Kirby appear in the movie. They appear, the guys in the comic books. It's called Timely Comics, which was the comics before Marvel. Mm-hmm. It's a real quick scene, and it's not actually, I don't think it was actually them. What I'm saying is, I don't think wait, hold on. I don't know. I don't know if I'm trying to say it's not CGI. It was like early versions of them, or if it was CGI versions of them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's another little thing that Shackman put into the film that I think is an homage to the guys who actually created these characters. And I absolutely love that about that. There's a lot of, for comic book nerds, there's so much nostalgia in this film.
Yeah.
It really tugs at your heartstrings in all the right ways. At the same time, it is its own thing. Mm-hmm. And, the story is great. I thought Ralph Ineson did a great job as Galactus. Now, if I have one thing,
here we go.
It's Julia Garner's Silver Surfer.
Okay. It would have been hilarious if, when she first came down to the planet to herald Galactus, she goes, "Y'all, I'm here to herald Galactus." It would have been funny. She's like, she used her Ozark character.
Yeah, doing Ozark.
It would have been funny.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't do that.
They didn't do that. But what they did do was they gender flipped. Which, again, this is a thing that Marvel has done historically. And by the way, everybody else is doing it too. Yeah. So terribly
Foundation.
Surprising. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Foundation.
Not terribly surprising. So I can kind of look past that. That wasn't even my issue, was the fact that the Silver Surfer was female. My issue was she was the least developed character in the movie.
Yeah. Well, they gave her
she
some.
She didn't get a lot of screen. Yeah, they gave her a little bit.
They gave her a little bit of background on who she was.
Basically.
Well, but I think
we learned her origin story.
Well, okay, but I think it's one of those things where, like you talk about, what's his name? Psycho guy.
Psycho guy
made the Psycho.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock. Thank you. We talk about.
When you say the Psycho guy, I look at him.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, it's been a hard couple of weeks. No, you know how he starts. He says, "Start the scene in the middle and give your
Yes.
audience credit to figure it out." Well, you know, I think that's kind of what was going on. Is he goes, "Look, if you're watching this movie, you know Silver Surfer's origin, who they are, what their purpose is, and all that kind of stuff.
What
right?
their actual name is.
Yeah, and all that kind of stuff." So I think they were just doing that, and they did show her origin story, which you know makes sense. I mean, that's because that's how the original Surfer got started as well. So anyway. You know, I didn't have too big of a problem with that. The issue, if I'm going to be super nitpicky about it, is I believe the CGI looked unfinished. On that character.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, can you give me specific
Yeah,
examples?
it just looked kind of rough and not polished off. You know, like if you look at the other Fantastic Four movie where the big tall skinny guy played him, where they switched between him painted silver and then the CGI. That CGI actually looks and feels a lot more polished than it did in this movie.
Well, I think that's what you do when that's what you're spending your budget on,
instead
of a good story.
Well, they actually prioritize practical effects in this movie over CGI, which I thought was really cool.
Yep.
So,
and then you've got this great cameo appearance by Natasha Lyonne as the teacher.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure we're going to see her again.
Well, that's Ben's girlfriend.
Now here's the thing.
On Poker Face, right?
Yeah, Poker Face.
Yeah, Poker Face. Natasha Lyonne. Here's the thing that has caused the internet to explode lately is that when we saw the Thunderbolts, the post-credit scene or the mid-credit scene was they're at the New Avengers Tower and they get an alert that an extra-dimensional ship has entered the atmosphere.
Yep.
And we see it, and it rotates, and sure enough, it's the Fantastic Four. Now, that scene, that post-credit scene in Thunderbolts is not paid off in the Fantastic Four movie. It is not,
and we all supposed that there was...
Yeah, we got this dead wrong, by the way.
We got it completely wrong. And I'm glad. I'm glad, because that would have just been horrible. Because we guessed that they couldn't save their planet, and so they... jumped off, they didn't.
Or they were trying to save Franklin.
Or they were trying to save Franklin. They're running away, basically, trying to save Franklin, which is not what they would do. They wouldn't run away and leave the planet undefended. They wouldn't try their hardest to defeat Galactus. So I don't know what we were thinking saying that, but I'm glad we were wrong. But now I'm curious as to how they're going to integrate that.
Yeah, me too. Now, I have the beginning of a theory.
Okay.
And the beginning of the theory is because if the spoiler alert's coming, in the mid-credit scene of the Fantastic Four First Steps, Sue is reading. So it's 4 years later. Franklin Richards, Sue and Reed's child, is now 4 years old. Sue is reading a book, and she finishes the book, and she gets up to go get another book. And when she comes back, Franklin is with someone in armor and a green cloak, holding, obviously, the Doctor Doom mask. So we know it's Doctor Doom. We don't know if it's Doctor Doom from their world or a different world or whatever. So my beginning of a theory is that they find out who Victor Von Doom is and what a threat he poses, and they chase him to Earth 626.
Well, and I was about to say, what if he kidnaps Franklin?
That's also a possibility.
Yeah.
So I think
jumps forward 50 years.
I think when they, you're just not going to let that go. You're like, as a guy who reads as much sci-fi as you do, your inability to suspend your disbelief is kind of off-putting right now. So yeah, maybe go buy yourself a new pair of shaded sunglasses or shaded frames.
Okay, let's take a quick break and do the first third.
Okay.
And we didn't talk about the pairing with this.
The pairing is amazing.
The pairing got even better when I got to this Connecticut wrapper. So I've now burned through the Maduro foot, and I'm on the Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, and it is just delightful with this tequila, particularly because I put some lime in it.
That is so good. Stop it.
Yeah, I like this a lot. This is a very good cigar and a very good tequila. So
tasting notes then. First third, now that we're to the Connecticut.
Well, now it's mellowed way out.
It's mellowed way out.
Because you got the Connecticut wrapper that's just sort of putting the brakes on anything that could have been harsh. Although this is not a harsh cigar at all.
No, even the fillers.
It's very well
I would say
balanced.
this is a light to medium It's definitely not a very full body.
Norm Hooten himself describes this as a medium-bodied cigar.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because you do have the foot and the final third as a San Andres Maduro wrapper, and then the binder and filler are undisclosed Nicaraguan. So
Yeah, now I'm getting a bit of the earthy, leathery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But with cream.
Yeah.
It's got a creamy mouthfeel now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Great construction.
Yeah. So full disclosure here, the first time I had this cigar, I was with Hawk on his patio. And he gave me one of these, and I was very excited about it. He told me about it, started smoking it. The construction on that particular cigar was off because I canoed, and I never was able to fix it. And then the wrapper started to come undone on me. So but it clearly was an outlier because this is burning evenly. It feels great. Everything's where it's supposed to be. So I choose to believe that this is the norm rather than the exception. Let's talk about where we go from here with the Fantastic Four. So we know we're going to see them again in Avengers Doomsday, which I think, is that the next film coming out? We're in phase 6 now, right? We're in
Yes.
phase 6.
I thought Spider-Man was next.
There's another Spider-Man coming out. Okay. Is that No Way Home?
No. It's something
Brand New Day.
Brand New
If
Day.
only we had a device to look that up on.
Brand New Day.
Yeah. Spider-Man.
Brand New Day.
Brand New Day.
Do we know anything about that film? Internet? Talk to me, Internet.
Let's see.
Release dates July 31st, 2026 as of right now.
And with every Marvel movie, you do need to qualify with as of right now.
Yeah.
Because Thunderbolts got pushed. Everything got pushed.
Yeah.
And
Avengers-
that happens a lot in movies because you've got these A-listers who are doing multiple projects simultaneously.
Yeah.
And they just can't, they can't
Doomsday,
do it.
Doomsday is December 18th of 2026.
Okay. So
As
we're
of
going to
now.
see Spider-Man first.
Yes.
All right.
Is that it? I mean, are we done with Marvel until 2026? There's nothing else coming out?
No, because, for this year, we might be done.
Yeah.
We might be done because Daredevil
We can look that up.
Born Again Season 2 doesn't debut until March of next year. And then, Ironheart is out. No, thank you.
It's already been canceled.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, they put no money into marketing that or anything.
And it just wasn't very good. I watched 2 episodes.
That's movie-wise, that's it. There's one... So, TV shows, Eyes of Wakanda is coming out August.
It's
it
out
says.
now.
Oh, it is. Marvel Zombies in October. And Wonder Man in December.
Oh, I'm worried about that one.
And it
too.
says Agatha All Along will conclude its season in October
Okay. Oh, this year?
this year.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's it for movies.
Yeah.
I thought Agatha All Along was already over.
No, they're going to do a second season.
The second season.
October 31 is the finale.
They're doing a second season. Yeah.
There's also Vision Quest coming early next year.
Oh, that's right. But
Yeah,
again,
we were
that's
just talking-
26.
Yeah, we were
Yes.
just talking about the
we
rest
were
of this
we were
year.
asking about the movies, I think. So there are no more Marvel movies scheduled for this year, which is crazy because it's only August.
Yeah.
And we used to, now, granted, from an industry perspective, a lot of stuff got pushed down the line because of you had COVID, and then you had the writer's strike, and then you had the actor strike. So all of those things happened basically concurrently. So it kind of it pushed a lot of stuff down the road.
Well, but it's also okay because there was a point where they were just coming out so often.
We
and
did
kinda
have
get
a
the
little
superhero
Marvel
fatigue. Yeah.
Marvel fatigue. It was a bit too much at one point, but now I'm ready.
Yeah.
Especially after the success of Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four. Like, okay, I feel like you're back on track now, Marvel. Like you're doing it for me. So I'm very excited to see how they're going to tie in the multiverse, which a lot of people are not very keen on in the Marvel Universe, but now with the Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts. It's clearly obvious they're going to cross paths and probably fight, just because we've seen a post-credit scene where we see the Fantastic Four ship, and we all know that Robert Downey Jr. is now Victor Von Doom. I want to talk about that a little bit. The fact that Victor Von Doom is being played by Robert Downey Jr. And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there an alternate Earth in the comics?
There's an alternate timeline
where Tony Stark became Doctor Doom.
Yep.
Yeah, the armor stuck to him.
Yeah.
In the first one, and that's
so.
And
do you
it's also
think
that same
that's
line.
going to be the storyline?
Well, that's the same storyline that eventually culminates in Battleworld, which is him pulling chunks of alternate universes into his world to train up an army to fight against the incursion into reality, all the tears that are happening.
Yeah.
And so that was the same Victor Von.
Now, the one thing I will say about Marvel that they have done very well is they have made their villains very interesting and complicated. Mm-hmm. Because every Marvel villain truly believes that they're doing what's best for everyone.
Sure.
So they're not just randomly, arbitrarily evil for the sake of being evil. They have a purpose.
Right.
They have a mission. It's very clear and defined. Like Thanos was maybe the best example of that.
Yeah, for sure.
But also Ultron. You know what I'm saying? So like that is where you can go very sideways in comic books, is that there are comic book villains that are just bad to be bad. But to make your villains interesting, to have the opportunity as an audience member to have empathy for the bad guy?
Well, even in Fantastic Four, because Mole Man,
yes.
you find out he's not really a bad guy.
No.
But he's trying to protect Subterranea. Mm-hmm. And he is prejudiced against, the people on Topsiders. But, I mean, they're able to work with him and convince him, to help them. And
he was only convinced because of Sue Storm, because she's hot.
But still, I mean, it wasn't like he was just evil for being evil.
No.
Like he believed he was, doing the right thing to protect where he lived, basically.
Yep. So I'm a big fan of like, don't make your villains one-dimensional, because where's the fun in that? We know they're eventually going to lose and the good guys are going to win, and that's just like, when you're 5, that's okay, because you always want good to triumph over evil. But as you become an adult, you realize that life is more complicated than that.
It's not black and
Well, they
white.
even did that in this.
Exactly. Say again?
They even did that in this movie, right? It's like you had Galactus, who's, a universal power, but the Silver Surfer, bad guy, good guy, comes out to be a
Silver
hero.
Surfer is an indentured servant, is what they are.
Yep.
Yeah,
They don't
but,
want to be there, but they're doing it because
But
they're saving their. If they don't do it, their planet gets destroyed.
She saved her world.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
It wasn't
know,
like
but-
she was. Yeah, she wasn't
but
inherently bad.
but it's still, she's introduced as a villain.
But
right?
I would say Galactus is more bad because, I mean,
Oh, he's a galactic force.
well, he's devouring planets to stay alive, basically,
Right.
right? He has to do that.
And that's the whole reason that this complication arises in the movie, is because the Fantastic Four uses faster than light speed to go out. They're going to go meet Galactus because they already know of his existence because of the Silver Surfer. So now they're going to go meet him where he is, right? They're not waiting for him to come to Earth, 828. They're going to meet him. And they fly out there, and what they discover is that Galactus is fascinated by the idea of Franklin Richards, because he can already see in that unborn child what his potential is.
Well, because
he can alter reality.
Yeah, he says he has the power galactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
but he wants to quit doing what he's doing.
he wants to quit doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So right there, you have to go, okay, but so he can't be pure evil, because clearly he doesn't want to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's almost like the immortal guy who just wants to die because I've been down this road so many times. So he makes an offer to the Fantastic Four, give me the child and I will spare your planet. And they obviously refuse that. They narrowly escape Galactus. They get back to Earth only to find out that everyone on Earth now is pissed off at them for not being willing to sacrifice their child.
That was low-hanging fruit. You knew that was going to happen. That had to be a plot point. Give up the one child to save the entire planet.
The goods of the binning.
Yeah. But, Sue was going to come out. And so that's why we were going, well, they're running away from the planet because they're not going to sacrifice their child. Sue comes out and gives her speech and calms everybody down. That was kind of a gimme, honestly. You knew something like that was going to happen.
Well, I think you have to weigh that against the current disposition of our culture now, right? So, I think Matt Shackman is the kind of guy who would do that kind of thing, is that we would absolutely expect in a movie that if they had come back and first of all, they were honest about it. They told them actually what happened.
Yeah.
The price was too high. What did they want? They wanted our child. The public immediately turns on them. Well, guess what? If that exact circumstance were to happen today...
Oh, yeah. No, it definitely would. No. And that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's just a situation where the only thing that's going to happen, if the situation is ever give up your child to save the planet, no matter if it's a movie or real life, the entire planet's going to go, well, give up the child and save the planet, Right. So they choose not to. And then Sue takes a stand and goes out and is like, and this is the other thing that I loved about it, is that she is forcing the crowd to confront their choice. Yeah.
See this little helpless baby?
Right.
This is what you want to sacrifice to a world eater.
Well, and I think a point they didn't really play on that they could have was, it's the lesser of two evils, because even if they said, okay, yeah, we'll give up the baby to spare the planet, well, but then the baby becomes Galactus. It eats worlds, So he becomes a bad guy.
And by the way, Galactus made that deal with Earth 828. There's no guarantee that Franklin makes that deal.
He's pissed off that they gave him up and made him the new Galactus.
And just going to eat a planet.
Eat the planet anyway.
Yeah. So I really thought that was interesting. So I'm enjoying this very much. Mm-hmm. I got pulled off topic here because my first experience with this cigar was not great, and this is so great.
Yeah. This is very nice. It's so smooth, and it pairs so well with the tequila.
Mm-hmm. I'm only going to smoke this now and have tequila. I can't. I don't think I'd have whiskey with a cigar. And
you don't know till you try it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm going to try it.
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say I wouldn't try it.
I'll never say no to whiskey, but whatever.
But I'm so enjoying that. It's very good.
What do you think Shackman could have done better in this film?
Well, that's a tough question because I had spent so much time trying not to have expectations for this movie.
What was our mantra? Please don't suck. Please don't suck. Please don't suck.
Seriously, I really did. I was very purposeful and not, other than our supposition about maybe why they're running away in Thundercats.
Thundercats.
It'd be funny if they ended up in the Thundercats universe on accident. What the heck's going on here? I spent so much time being purposeful on not having expectations for this movie because I wanted to go into it with zero expectations and just kind of let it, be what it is, and then form my opinions about it. So I don't really know. I haven't even really thought about it since then. I thought the movie was so great, and I enjoyed it so much. It's like I haven't even thought about what could they have done different or better. You can always nitpick, gender swapping or that kind of stuff, but I don't think it hurt the story.
It did not.
And that's what bothers me when they do that kind of stuff is they do it just to do it because that's the political climate.
Right.
But it doesn't enhance the story or anything.
Right. Well,
I thought her story actually enhances. When they go back and they show why she became the Silver Surfer, you're like, yeah, of course. And even though you already knew the origin story of Silver Surfer, when you see
us nerds did.
Yeah, and
not everybody did.
You see her on her planet with her daughter, and he comes and goes, "I'll save you. I'll save your planet." Of course, you're going to do it.
Sure.
Who would say no to that? you know?
Yeah.
And you could tell that she was basically stuffing her emotions. She
Yeah.
was like, she has to choose these planets, you know? But yeah, I mean, I really don't know.
Because
what else
I
they could
have an
done
answer
different.
to this question.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Truly.
Yeah.
Because-
I thought it was so good.
Because first of all, Shackman clearly did his homework, right? He comes from this background of comedy, drama, action, and like I don't know who else could have directed this film that could have done the job that he did, because it was as perfect a combination of those things as you could have, and the style of the film, the look of the film, was clearly from the get-go that was always going to be the thing, and that is almost like an extra character in the film.
Yeah.
That style, that retro futuristic George Jetson sort of look, is its own character in the film. And what I think is so smart about that move is that, number one, 626 has got too many superheroes.
Yeah.
So it was always going to need to be taking place somewhere else. So they introduced the multiverse. Now we know about the multiverse. Granted, the multiverse timeline, the multiverse storyline got off on rough footing. But we've all accepted it now. We've all accepted that there are multiple Earths.
But I also think that they had to do it on a different universe because of the whole Doctor Doom thing. Mm-hmm. Because they had to have a way to get Doctor Doom into 626.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So
I even love that their robot was
Herbie
was a direct throwback to the Jetsons. Like, I saw that and instantly thought.
Well, Herbie came in the comic. Or
He
came
was
in
in the
the
comic.
He was
He was in the
He was
comic.
in the animated series in '78 is when they introduced him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he wasn't even in the '60s. So.
No, but I was like the style. It just immediately harkened back to their maid robot.
Rosie.
Rosie, yeah.
Rosie the robot.
So I
Except
I
she
love
didn't
that
have
about
literal magnetic tape in her.
it. That was fun.
That was so great.
With different programming.
Yeah.
And I also love like the little touches that this is just when you can tell that a director is paying attention. There's that scene where Ben is tasting Herbie's pasta sauce.
Yeah.
And he claps. And it sounds like banging rocks together.
Yeah.
Like that. You don't think about that stuff unless it's not there.
Well, and my comment earlier about the CGI on Silver Surfer, like when I saw the previews, that was actually a lot of criticism that I saw was, is this a finished shot because she looks unfinished? However, the CGI on Ben Grimm was amazing.
It was amazing.
That was amazing.
So you have to believe that it was a choice.
Yeah.
And I love the throwback to the bear. Right, it's the actor from both of them, and he's tasting
sauce.
And
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought about that. I don't know how many people did. Anyone who saw the bear probably did, but that was a nice harken back.
The one thing I would have wanted more from this movie is I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Ben and his romantic interest. Right, we only got a few moments here and there, and if you read the comics, you actually understand.
Oh yeah,
he wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yes, he does.
He's so that would have been great to see. But other than that, it
and
was
then
almost
also
perfect.
in the comics, wasn't she blind?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that hasn't happened yet. I wonder if it's going to happen. But here's the other thing: we saw in the Thunderbolts mid-credit scene, they're now in Earth 626. How do you develop that storyline?
Yeah.
50 years in the future.
Yeah. Maybe it's
What did you say?
Yeah, 50 years in the future. Maybe it's a temporary thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that, there's definitely going to have to be there's got to be a sequel. I don't see how they don't do a sequel to this movie, After
Well, they typically, when they introduce a new character, they do a minimum 3 films.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I think
even Shang-Chi's getting another movie.
Yeah, I think they're going to. I think they have the opportunity to further develop all the characters more and that storyline, right?
Yeah.
To where she could definitely be a bigger part, So maybe the Avengers Doomsday is a temporary thing, Maybe they end up here for a little while and they help with Doctor Doom.
Well, but
or
we know what's
they're following
following.
Doctor Doom, like you said earlier,
Right.
And then they go back to their
Could
time.
be, but we've
50
still
years in the past at that
but
point.
we've still got Secret Wars coming.
Yeah.
So maybe somewhere in Secret Wars they go back to go wherever they have to go for Secret Wars. I don't know. It's going to be real interesting to see how this shakes out.
Yeah.
But now we've talked a lot about this movie, and I've enjoyed it very much. But I now think it's time for us to do a thing that we like to call
The greatest joke in the world.
It's the greatest joke in the world. This is the part of the program where Brent and I trade dad jokes. Now, the goal is to get each other to laugh. And there used to be a punishment. If you laughed, you had to take a shot. What we discovered pretty quickly was we were laughing at each other's jokes all the time. And by the end of the episode, you wouldn't understand a word we were saying because we were sloshed. Yeah. So we've kind of taken that out. But I've also had a goodly amount of tequila here. So I'm predisposed to laugh.
All right.
So hit me with a dad joke, buddy.
All right. Well, scientists have discovered that modern crows have lost the ability to communicate.
What?
Yeah, they're looking for the cause.
Oh, man.
Come on, that's a good one.
No, it was a good one. Not
Chris,
a laugh
Chris has a look on his
one,
face like,
but it was a good one. I will tell you that my wife couldn't take my drinking anymore. She said, "You have to choose. Is it me or the alcohol?" And I said, "It's you, honey. I can tell by the voice." You laughed.
Ugh.
Who won the celebrity golf tournament?
I don't know, Chris. Who won the celebrity golf tournament?
The Fantastic Foursome.
What?
No, it's a sports joke.
Yeah. On sports balls.
That's not even a sports joke. That's just, I don't even know what that was.
Cut.
Yeah, edit out. That's just. What do you
All
got?
right. I told my suitcase I couldn't take a vacation this year, so now I'm dealing with emotional baggage.
Nice. I've never let my children watch the orchestra due to all the sax and violins. Gotcha.
That's a good one. Although, is there sax in orchestra?
Hell yeah.
There is?
Brass, baby.
But
Brass.
is it an actual saxophone
Yes.
in an orchestra?
And trombone and trumpets. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I thought the reeds were like oboe and bassoon and stuff. I didn't know they were saxophones.
No, there are reeds in there too. Go ahead, Chris. Tell us a joke we're not going to laugh at.
What is Ben Grimm's, a.k.a. The Thing's, favorite drink?
Orange Julius.
Fruit punch.
It could have been something like On the Rocks,
That it could have
anything
been.
anything on the rocks.
Anything on the rocks.
I mean, come on.
I would have been better. All right, one more.
It has been a while. We're warming back up.
We're
to this.
warming it up.
All right. Why don't programmers like nature? There's too many bugs.
Okay. As a guy who knows this much about programming, I did get that was a funny joke.
All right. Too bad you weren't taking a drink when I said
What does every Tickle Me Elmo get before it leaves the factory? It gets 2 testicles.
What piece of furniture will you never find in the Baxter building?
Wait. No. No, what?
The silver sofa.
I mean,
hit the stinger.
You guys told me I had
No.
to tell jokes.
Hit the stinger, dude. Hit the stinger. Oh, God.
The greatest joke in the world.
yeah. I'm pretty sure this is what severe regret feels like.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it
It's
right
like this
here.
hole in my chest.
It hurts.
It does.
It physically hurts. The silver sofa? Oh, man.
Can I have booze?
Yeah.
I'd like some booze.
I'd
No.
like some booze, please. Give that man some booze.
He doesn't deserve booze after that.
Well, I'm not
We need
arguing.
the booze after that.
I'm not arguing with you, but give him some booze anyway because he is our producer. Okay, let's go to the dreamy part of the podcast.
Well, now you know he's been drinking because he wants a lime.
He wants a lime, yeah.
Just take it with you.
Good Lord, he took you up on that. Like, wow.
I mean, he's going to stand there for 10 minutes trying to get a lime out.
Yeah, yeah. And he's going to be another 10 minutes trying to actually get a lime out of that glass.
Right.
What would you like to see happen in Avengers Doomsday?
I would like to see. I'm hoping that since it's 50 years in the future, maybe Franklin's older and we get to see Franklin.
Like actually see him
Like do
his
Yeah.
alter reality kind of thing.
Yeah.
See him live up to the potential that Galactus saw in him. I'm all about team-ups. When I was a kid and I would watch ABC television, ABC was the king of crossovers. So, like, you know, they had like half a dozen buddy cop shows on the air at any one time. And then every so often, characters would cross over into each other's episodes, right? And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I would like to see what the team-ups are going to look like. Like, I predict in Doomsday, because we know the Fantastic Four at the end of Thunderbolts have crossed over into Earth 626. We know they're going to be there. We know because this is every superhero team movie. When two teams of superheroes meet, the first thing they're going to do is fight. They're not going to talk. Yeah. They're not going to be diplomatic. They're going to fight. So a fight between the Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, I think, is in the cards. And then it will probably end in a stalemate, like it did, like it has every time.
Yeah.
And they'll eventually realize they're on the same side or whatever. So I'm anticipating that a little bit. I want Marvel to surprise me. Now, I realized, because you and I had the same thought about that mid-credit scene in Thunderbolts. We truly thought that we had figured it out. And the reason we thought we had figured it out is because Marvel had become a little formulaic. There were things that we could predict that were accurate. This one we got completely wrong. And I'm happy about that. So I hope that continues. I hope they continue to surprise me. I hope that my jaded ass can't anticipate what's coming, and that I'm pleasantly surprised by what actually does happen.
Don't forget also, you're old and your faculties are declining, so it may be easier to surprise you is what I'm trying to say.
That comment was not surprising at all. By the way, he's not that younger than I am.
Not that younger. I'm not that younger.
Mm-mm. You're not. Any final thoughts on the Fantastic Four, boys?
Let's see it. Let's see Doomsday.
Let's see Doomsday.
Let's see the sequel.
I'll be honest with you. I kind of thought we actually would see Robert Downey. Here's a question. When we finally see Victor Von Doom's face, will it be Robert Downey Jr. or Robert Downey Jr. horrifically scarred?
That's a good question.
Because, like, I want to see him horrifically scarred.
Yeah.
And I want to find out that he used to be Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, that's the timeline that I want. I want to... Because, okay, look. It is possible for an actor of Robert Downey Jr.'s character and caliber to completely remake himself. However, do you remember when he revealed himself at SDCC last year?
Yeah.
What was the first thing he said?
New mask, different, same job.
New mask, same task.
Same task. New mask, same task.
Which is what? That was Tony Stark's whole thing. Mm-hmm. That was one of the best lines in Ultron was, where do you think Ultron gets that from? From Wanda. Tony Stark doesn't understand the difference between saving the world and destroying it.
Yeah.
So I think it's at least there's an outside chance that this is some alternate version of Tony Stark that truly, again, like, and I want this so badly. I want this so badly because I read the comics and I love the character of Victor Von Doom because he was complicated and because he truly believed that he was doing the right thing. So, but I do kind of wonder, is it the Victor Von Doom that is horribly scarred, or is he just going to be good looking Robert Downey Jr.?
I don't know. We'll wait and see.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. And we're going to wait and see. And when that movie comes out, we will talk about it. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our finally getting back from summer break of Nerdherfers. Hey, please go out to nerdherfers.com, click the subscribe button, go out to our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@nerdherfers. Subscribe there.
Actually,
I've
made it super easy. You can go to our website and subscribe to our YouTube channel directly from there.
Even better. So please go out and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the conversation tonight. If you have a theory about the Fantastic Four and what the future holds, drop us a line at nerdherfers.com or hit us up in the comments section on our YouTube channel, and we would love to hear it and maybe talk about it. Until then, I am Larry Brantley along with Brent Williams.
Oh, wait. We forgot something.
What did we forget?
We need to talk. You can talk about it now. Now it's public. What have you been advertising for the past few weeks?
Oh, shit. You really want to talk about that?
Yeah,
okay,
do it.
Cool. All right. Okay. So some of you may know that I got my career start in 1994 working on a PBS children's television show called Wishbone. And it remains to this day the greatest thing I've ever worked on. It was so much fun to do. We were very young. Most of us filmmakers were at the beginning of our careers, and honestly, we didn't know a lot of the time what we were doing. But it turns out that we were doing something that would become, and we didn't know this at the time, it would become a cultural phenomenon. A few years ago, Betty Buckley, who was our original line producer, and Joey Stewart, who was our first AD, came to me and said, we're thinking that what we should do now is make a documentary film about the making of that program. And so we did. We've actually made it. It's the picture is locked. We're 2 weeks away from, not even 2 weeks away. We're a week away from finishing the film score, and we are going to start shopping it out. The film is going to be called What's the Story Wishbone. You can find the movie poster on my Instagram at Outlaw Larry. I'm really super proud of what we've done. I'm very excited about it. And so if you guys remember the show Wishbone or you have an interest in the show, I would encourage you to go out and search that because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Also, Wishbone documentary on Instagram.
Yes. So our official our official Instagram page is The Wishbone Documentary. So what's funny about that is I posted the movie poster a couple weeks ago, and I think it was on the same day that Joey created the Wishbone Documentary on Insta. On that page now, we're up to over 5,000 viewers.
Wow.
And it's crazy. So if you have any interest in that, please go out and check it out. I'm about to drop a big announcement tomorrow on my Instagram page. That's at Outlaw Larry. But by the time you read this, it'll already be out there, or you hear this, it'll already be out there. But anyway, thank you for bringing that up.
And
we love
people,
you guys.
And the more people that come out there, the better it is for you guys shopping the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just happy to be back here doing what I love with my friends. We love you guys. Thank you for being a part of this. And as Ben Grimm loves to say, although not really, it's clobbering time. We will see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody. So long.
I didn't get to say my keep your shirt on.
Hang on. I gave your name, did I not?
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? And then I brought up the documentary.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I threw that
So
off. My bad.
So
Never mind.
I'm Larry Brantley. That's Brent Williams.
Keep your shirt on.
And that's what's your name?
Chris Hockenberry.
Chris Hockenberry. What's your
Farewell.
sign-off? Farewell.
Okay.
Fare
We're
thee
gonna-
well.
Fare thee well. We're going to work on his one, but
Yeah.
we'll see you next time. Okay, bye-bye. This has been a production of Nerdherfers. Copyright 2025, all rights reserved. No portion of this broadcast may be used without permission. Please visit nerdherfers.com for more information and full legal disclaimer. You nerds.